Mondstadt has so many windmills, doesn't it?
Well, the city is built above water, so it probably relies on the windmills to draw the water upwards.
That's correct. The winds blow through Mondstadt all year, so this supply of water is very stable. Also, the windmills are what they call visible winds, and wind chimes are called the audible winds. Paimon guesses they can be thought of as mascots and prayers to the animal Archon for protection.
Ah, mascots. So, like you then, Paimon.
No, not at all. They're made of wood, and you can't eat them in an emergency either, because all you'll do is grind your teeth down.
I don't know what to say to that.
There seems to be a lot of eccentric artists in the court of Fontaine. Apparently, they often stage artistic performances at the Opera House, too. The people of Fontaine sure place a lot of importance on the arts. Guess that's why they call it the City of the Arts. It's nothing like Sumeru, where people had to do their performances in secret.
You're pretty into the arts, huh?
Of course! Paimon's pretty much a connoisseur.
Okay, so what makes something art in your opinion?
Well, art should be something that's out of the ordinary. Something that sparkles like the stars at night.
By that definition, I have a work of art following me around wherever I go.
Huh? Wait, you don't mean Paimon, do you?
Yup, and now that I think about it, you should consider doing a performance sometime. Paimon, live at the Opera House. I bet a lot of people would go see that.
No way! Not gonna happen! Fischl makes a very unique impression, doesn't she?
How so?
Well, she travels together with a talking raven for starters.
Well, I'm traveling with you. It's not all that different. Still, Oz can also translate for Fischl. You, on the other hand...
What? Paimon's way better than some bird.
How so?
Well, at least Paimon doesn't need wings to fly. So, just between the two of us, the people and Saurians of that volcano is so huge! You can see it from anywhere in that land! Where do you think all that magma comes from, though?
One legend holds that an enormous pyro dragon slumbers in the deepest depths of Natlan. Within the dragon's body dwells the world's first flame, burning eternally and causing boils to form on the dragon's back. Every once in a while, these boils spew out fire, which takes the form of magma when it comes above ground.
For real? But what happens if the dragon ever wakes up? Natlan will be doomed!
Yep, and that's why the Pyro Archon gets the tribes to periodically join forces and go pacify the dragon, to make sure it stays asleep.
Wait, what? No, that's to fight the abyss, isn't it?
Well, not if this story from a woven scroll I bought on the street is to be believed.
Ugh, Paimon knew it. Paimon's been dying to hear your thoughts about this. What is the deal with the Hal? And don't say you haven't noticed.
Noticed what?
Try everything? He's completely different from every other Saurian. For starters, he can talk. Matter of fact, he never shuts up. Also, he's always hovering around Kanich instead of walking on the ground. Oh, and don't get Paimon started on those stupid sunglasses. Why would a Saurian wear sunglasses? It doesn't make any sense. Why are you looking at Paimon like that?
It's just, you talk a lot too. And you fly. Plus, didn't you get yourself a pair of silly-looking glasses in Fontaine?
That is completely different. But anyway, there's a more glaring issue here. A Hal is flat as a pancake. He's floating around looking like a little cardboard cutout, and no one in Natlan bats an eyelid. Don't you think that's strange?
It's definitely unusual. Then again, maybe everyone's just used to it by now. Ultimately, it's nobody's business but a house, so if you want answers, you'd probably have to ask him.
But would he even tell us the truth? Paimon gets the feeling he'd just make up a bunch of phony baloney to get us off his case. Or maybe he'd be like, okay, if you really want to know, I'll show you! And then poof! He'd turn us into cardboard cutouts too.
Cardboard cutout Paimon. Now that I would love to see.
Hey, cut it out! Paimon doesn't want to be flat as a pancake. That volcano is so huge. The Natlanese seem to do a lot of doodling everywhere. Except they don't call it doodling, do they? They call it, something.
Phlogiston engraving. But strictly speaking, that refers to the engraving of special stone tablets. What you're talking about is just regular graffiti. Take this one, for example. It basically just says, "You're in Nanatsukayan territory now. Children of Echoes for the win."
That's pretty fun. Now Paimon wants in. Shall we do some graffiti of our own?
We sure can. But what do you think we should draw?
Well, that's easy. A portrait of the best travel guide in all of Teyvat. Now, let's see. Ah, there. Put it right there on that cliff face.
So you want me to do the honors, huh? All right then, let me think about this. Yep, first we need to capture that classic Paimon facial expression. Seething with rage.
Wait, what? Oh, you know what? Forget it! Paimon has decided to find a professional Natlanese graffiti artist instead! The Natlanese don't seem to leave Natlan much, do they?
Nope, and there are some good reasons for that.
That must make things pretty difficult for anyone who wants to be an adventurer, huh? Think about it. If they can't go to other nations, they miss out on a ton of potential commissions. If they can't go exploring unknown ruins, surely they can't make a whole lot of Mora. It's too bad.
You'd think so, wouldn't ya? But in fact, they've found some ways around it.
Huh?
I've heard of a group in the People of the Springs who call themselves Wayfinders. They have a wealth of knowledge about Natlan's geography and ancient ruins, so a lot of foreign adventurers hire them as guides when they visit. Of course, that means they get paid for each trip, regardless of whether their client actually finds the treasure. So in the long run, they might actually earn more than a traditional adventurer would.
Wow, okay. But wait, if they know so much about Natlan's ancient ruins, why don't they just go find the treasure themselves?
Well, here's the thing. What if there never was any treasure to begin with?
Whoa. Okay, Paimon's gonna need a minute to let that sink in.